Today our topic is micros and macros, the big element and little element. So macro and micro together form the film. What are the macro elements? Genre, the features that fit into a certain type of category. Example, disaster, comedy, romance, horror, etc. Narrative, the plot, viewpoint, the story, the way it is told. Representation, the ways in which social groups and issues are presented in the film. Representation is the key aspect of the film studies that crosses over between macro and micro film language. So, what is narrative? It refers to the story of the film. The narrative is what happens to our characters. The plot is how the narrative is organized. Not all films present the narrative in chronological order, that is, starting at the beginning and ending at the end. The plot might be organized in a way that means the elements of the narrative are withheld and then revealed. So we have linear type of narrative. The most simple of narrative constructions begins at the beginning and moves through the events chronologically. So a scene from a movie is displayed there. Then we have non-linear narrative. So what is that? It is where the events are presented out of sequence. This could be done simply. Example, the inclusion of obvious flashbacks. However, the construction might be more complex and the audience might be asked to pay more attention in order to decode and uncover the mysteries of the narratives. So we have examples from Pulp Fiction and Memento. So who's a protagonist? He is the main character. Who's an antagonist? He is one who's the opposition of the protagonist. So what is the narrative goal? The narrative goal refers to the things that our protagonist is trying to do in a narrative. It could be to rescue princes or to stop terrorism or to get home. The recognition of a narrative goal is what propels the protagonist on their journey. So what are the narrative barriers? The barriers are the obstacles that the protagonist meets on their way to achieving their goal. Barriers are what makes the journey seem difficult, and overcoming of these obstacles make the achievements of the goal more enjoyable for the viewers. Barriers can be physical or emotional. Example, escaping from captors, that is physical. Emotional will be the loss of an ally. The scene from Avatar is put before you. What's conflict? Any good narrative needs conflict, often manifested through people trying to achieve different goals. A protagonist will often have conflict with people in their lives. These people are barriers. However, the biggest conflict is often between the antagonist and the protagonist. Coming now to the micro elements in the movie. So cinematography, editing, sound, lighting and color, mise-en-scene. So what is cinematography? All the types of angles and types of shots taken with a steady cam as well as handheld camera. Editing, you know the process of putting the shots together after filming. So there you include or exclude. You increase the speed and the style of editing is important. Then you have the inclusion of music and sound effects, diegetic and non-diegetic sound. Then in the same micro we have lighting and color, the level and direction of light and the color palettes that are used. Then finally the mise-en-scene. What is mise-en-scene? The look and the positioning of all the objects in the character in a shot creates more sense of setting and the mood. So what all is included in mise-en-scene? Setting, lighting and color, positioning of characters within the frame, body language and costume. So coming to the cinematography is the camera angles and shots. Different angles add different effect to the scene. For example, a low angle makes the character very powerful. High angle makes the character look very weak. 360-degree camera shot will make the character look confused. The different camera angles are low, high and eye level or normal eye view. The camera shots are long, wide, close-up, mid-shot, point of view and over the shoulder shot. You also have extreme long shot, extreme close up shot. The different camera movements are panning, tilting, tracking, and crane shot. Here I have displayed to you the different types of shots. See, the low angle shows the power of the person, high angle, submissiveness, long shot being center of attraction, wide shot to see the entire surrounding, mid shot show the arm movements of the character. Coming to editing. Editing is the art of selecting the best shots from the footage recorded on location and assembling them into the coherent film. Film editing is a technical part of the post-production process of filmmaking. The term is derived from the traditional process of working with film, which increasingly involves the use of digital technology. The film editor works with the raw footage, selecting shots and combines them with sequences that create a finished motion picture. Film editing is often referred to as invisible art because when it is well practiced, the viewer can become so engaged that he or she is not aware of the editor's work. Film editing is described as an art or skill, the only art unique to the cinema, separating filmmaking from other forms of art that precedes it. Coming to sound, sound design is how the filmmaker flesh out the aural world of a film to enhance the mood, atmosphere, and the tone. Sound design's components include sound effects, special effects, sound design, mixing, foliage sound design, dialogue, and music. Sound design is the final and the most important element needed to create an immersive experience of the audience. It is important to know that the sound designer does not record audio on set. On-set audio is a responsibility of the production mixer. Sound in a movie includes music, dialogue, sound effects, ambient noise, background noise, the soundtracks. Some sort of sound is always used to enhance the movie experience. Coming to mise-en-scene. When applied to cinema, mise-en-scene refers to everything that appears before the camera and its arrangement, composition, sets, props, actors, costumes, and lighting. The various elements of design help express a film's vision by generating a sense of time and space, as well as setting a mood and sometimes suggesting a character's state of mind. Mise-en-scene also includes the composition, which consists of positioning and movement of actors as well as the objects in a shot. So let's practice with a couple of stills to find out the macro and the micro elements. Can you identify and discuss among yourselves? Hope you are able to recognize from which movie the shot is taken. Discuss about the name of the shot, from which movie, as well as whether it is a micro or the macro element. Some of the moving images. It's difficult to find out the movie maybe, but at least you can identify the elements.